Welcome back to the Unapologetically Strong Marriage edition of the podcast. What's up, babe?
Yes. What's up, baby? Long time no see.
I know. It has been a long time.
It's
So
so
I don't
weird
even know
because
what we're doing.
we used
Oh,
to
go ahead.
podcast in the same room. Now we're in different rooms and different areas of the house and stuff. So we got to get back to podcasting together.
Yeah, but then the mics aren't the sound quality is not as good. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's my topic today,
Yes,
and
you are in charge.
I'm in charge.
You're in charge. I will follow your lead.
Yeah. So I was inspired. I don't know what first brought the initial inspiration. But it was thinking about choosing each other
Mhm.
and then the ramifications of couples not choosing each other. And so I don't know where the conversation is going to go per se. But I did want to start out with that idea because, we're given the expectation in marriage, like you're choosing that person, right?
Yeah.
It's like we basically signed a contract, if you will, a license that says that I choose this person, and then some people even put it in their vows to cleave to this person and forsake all others. And so, there's so many ways that we're told, like at the beginning stage of marriage, like this is the choice. And so yeah, I just had a lot of thoughts and ideas centered around choosing one another. What are your initial thoughts when you hear that?
Okay. So all this came up just from our conversation this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, wow. You
Yeah,
definitely have an idea and you like to run with it, don't you?
I do. I think this is if I were to think like of a foundational thing to you guys, chose each other, right? So
Yeah.
whether that's like somebody thinking about marriage, it's like you guys are choosing each other, or
Mhm.
somebody who finds themselves struggling in their marriage, you guys chose each other, right?
Yeah. You chose this. Good or bad, you chose this. This is the life that you have. And not only have you chose it, but you created this.
Mm,
Yes, it takes
yeah,
two to tango, but your choices, your actions, your behaviors have led you to this. This is the bed you're making.
yeah,
Notice all the marital
yeah.
innuendos.
Well, if you think about it, so it's like if people, when they go into marriage, we're thinking about this is the bed that you get to create now, and it starts
Mhm.
with choosing each other, and or somebody lost the fire and whatever. That conversation is still relevant because you're like, man, I don't. This bed's lumpy.
It's not very comfortable, is it?
This bed's not very comfortable. Well, you made it.
Yeah.
Or both of
And I
y'all
mean,
made it together. We make our beds together, just in case anybody wants to know.
yeah. But I will say there are definitely circumstances where, in abusive relationships, you didn't
Sure.
ask for that, you didn't create that. That is not on you. And I don't want anyone listening to think we're implying that.
No, because
No.
if we go through this in series format, you'll probably hear all of the dirty laundry of failed relationships and stuff like that. To where even if you make your side of the bed, that doesn't mean the other person is going to make the bed with you. And that doesn't mean that the other person's not going to mess their side
Mess
of
it
the
up.
bed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I like that
That's really good.
analogy. See, I like bring this in like responsibility,
Yeah.
choosing, choice, marriage, even looking back to it's all your responsibility to make the bed. So that's cool.
Well, and if you're
Thank you.
you're welcome. You could be like, oh, it wasn't my choice. I didn't do this. It was the other person. No, stop. Everybody is responsible for something. Yes, there are failed marriages where, they don't, I mean, we both had failed marriages, you know? Um, and again, I just like, I don't know why I feel like I got to preface like this isn't talking about like abusive relationships because,
That's okay. It needs to be said.
but
Sure.
yeah, like, and I'll probably say it again, but it's like, this isn't talking about those situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Looking
but,
in a failed relationship that I had, that no matter what I did to clean my side of the bed, it really didn't matter,
mhm,
because they were not going to take responsibility for themselves. So when I started like taking responsibility for myself and making sure that I'm like working on myself and becoming better, that does not guarantee that the other person will meet you there. And
mhm,
so my initial marriage clapped because of infidelity repeatedly. And so,
yeah,
though I was trying to make my side of the bed, they were, you know, uh,
tearing the covers off.
crapping right on it and smearing it in the sheets.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Uh,
but going to our conversation
mm,
this morning, and then even with what you've been saying is like, um, you've chose this. You chose your partner. You chose them to date. You chose them to get engaged, and then you chose to get married, and then like you repeatedly have to make that choice, whether good or bad, whichever side you're on, like you're repeatedly making that choice. And like when we were coming in the house from the gym and we were in this conversation, it was like, you make that choice repeatedly, multiple times a day.
mm,
Do I choose
yeah.
you or do I choose to turn the TV on and watch a show and ignore you? Do I
Uh,
choose you or do I choose to go out with my girlfriends and complain about you? Or do I choose to, I mean, for men and women, because porn is like for ever, it's not just a one gender thing, right? But do you choose to watch porn instead of be intimate with your spouse? Like, there's just so many instances throughout the day where you have to make that choice.
yeah. Yeah. That's so good. I'd like to start there, because there was during our courting period, there was a pursuing you
Hmm.
and saying, "Hey, do you want to make it official? Hey,
Ah, that was so
do
cute.
hey, do you want to go out this weekend?" Conversations on the phone, like all of this progressive stuff that is signifying that, hey, I'm choosing you
Hmm.
and pursuing you, chasing you. My attention is like, you're talking, I'm listening, right? There's all of this stuff that's going on that says, like, you are a priority to me and I'm choosing
Hmm.
you, I'm choosing this, right? And then because of lack of intentionality, some of that stuff goes out the window. Now, I do
Yeah.
want to caveat this as honeymoon phase and period, and times where the emotions are really high, and there's some of this high pursuit and high energy that's like completely normal and all of that different stuff.
Yeah.
But we does that mean that as we grow, you don't get my attention anymore, or as we grow, I stop choosing you, or and on we
Hmm.
go till people are signing the divorce papers and wondering what happened, and did you
Well, and
stop
it
choosing
doesn't,
each
yeah.
other?
And it doesn't happen overnight. Cause, like in the beginning of like when you first start talking, you first start dating, you're in this euphoric state where it's like, googly eyes,
Yeah.
and it's like now we've been married almost 10 years and together 12. Um, and it's like, yeah, it's different now than it was, 12 years ago. Um, but that you need that euphoric state initially because it's drawing you together. It's like getting you to really connect and
Attach. Yeah.
want to, yeah, attach and really learn more about each other. And let's be honest, it's just really fun. It's a
Sure.
really fun time in the relationship.
Yeah.
Um, and it it doesn't have to go away. Is it always going to be at that high point? No.
Matures, right?
Yeah, I'll take the love we have today over the love we had 10 or 12 years ago any day,
Sure.
because it's a deeper, it's a more connected, it's a more mature love.
Yeah. 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 That's so good. I wonder how we go from choosing each other to our lives telling a different story. So it's like the relationship evolves, you prioritize each other, the relationship, the communications there. There's no doubt that you're choosing each other, sort of thing. But then how it drifts and how we can still say that we chose one another 12 years ago, but are we choosing one another today? And so what I correlate to is the same way of is like faith. Yeah, you may have made a declaration of faith however long ago, but which direction are you facing and which way are you going and who has your gaze and attention and all these different things. Um, and be willing to look at that and say, well, my life is telling a different story, you
Well, it
know?
doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's like you don't go from like all in, all I choose you to next day you're divorced. Like that's not how it works. It's just
Right.
little micro choices and micro decisions that you probably don't even recognize. Like I remember hearing this story one time about an airplane pilot, right? He's flying, okay? Say you're going from, I don't know, New York to California, right? Across the country. You set your coordinates and you're going to get from point A to point B. What
Hmm.
happens if you're just like a fraction off,
Yeah.
right? Like you're going and you're on path, and I'm not a pilot obviously, so I don't know the right terminology, but basically it's like you started at the correct point, but just being that fraction off
Hmm.
by the time you hit your destination, like
Yeah, you'd
how
be way
far off
off.
target are you?
Yeah.
Or even
That'd
like
be a
shooting a gun, like you
sure.
you're so close, but then you're shooting, I don't know, 300 yards away, right? Just a millimeter off, your bullet is not going to hit the target.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that analogy. I think that is such a good analogy for what we're talking about because like if somebody's married and their whole life is centered around their kids, then that is the target. So after the kids
Mhm.
leave, because that has been the target this whole time, that now when the kids are gone, there's all this purposelessness and whatever, and a lot of divorces obviously happen during that time of transition because they look at each other like I don't even know you, like,
Yeah,
or they retire and you're like I gotta spend time with you. I don't even like you.
those are like the two for marriages who actually last, right? Those are the two biggest transition points in a marriage: becoming empty nesters, all your kids are
Uh-huh.
gone, and retirement.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, even if you make it through all your kids leaving home, like what happens when your spouse is now around all the time and you have to be around your spouse all the time? Do you know this person? Do you
Mm,
even like this person?
right.
Because chances are you don't even really know them. Because so, say you work a traditional 9 to 5, right? Now all of a sudden, but okay, well, I'm sorry, let me go back. You're working a 9 to 5. You wake up in the
Mhm.
morning, you leave for work. How much communication did you just have from
Not
getting out of
much.
bed, getting
Mm-mm.
ready for work, and leaving?
Some people
Not
are two
much.
ships passing in the night.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And then if you get off at 5 o'clock, now you got rush hour to get home. And now you got, okay, if you need a shower after work or change or whatever, like, oh, now's dinner time, right? And then
Yeah.
you want to unwind, or if kids are at home, like, you got to do stuff with the kids. Like, how much time do you actually get together?
Mm, yeah.
And then
Very small.
yeah, it's
Normal
not
people.
much
I'm saying like
time.
the normal people, you got the two salaries, you got the juggling responsibilities, you got the kids, and so it's
Hmm.
like, yeah, a lot of stuff to juggle and to manage there. The struggle's real.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, how well do you even know each other? How much time are you taking in choosing each other every day?
Yeah. L-
How much time and effort are you putting into that?
Yeah. Well, let's dive into some of the things that people put before their spouse without realizing it. So a lot of people don't know that they're choosing something over something, and they may not even recognize it. But what are some of those things you think people choose over their spouse?
Oh my gosh, just spitfiring, kids, work, friends, family, um, hobbies. That's just five. And I didn't
Yeah.
even think about it. Religion, church, right? Like that's just a couple off the top of my head. And I didn't even have to sit there and think about it.
No,
But I think those
I
are
would.
some really, really common ones.
Yeah, I would like to talk about the church one first because so there's a famous preacher. His name was A.W. Tozer, and he was all about like intimacy with God and that sort of thing. And he forsook his family to do this. Um, his quest was
Mhm.
God. It is actually a kind of a escape mechanism, and he was hiding behind God. And I think people hide behind the church in the Bible all the time. But anyway, so he's going around the world teaching about how to have intimacy with God, and he died, and his wife remarried, and they interviewed her, and she said, you know, uh, AW, he loved Jesus, but he didn't love me, and he didn't love his kids.
Oh,
And they said, "Well, how's your new relationship?" And she said, "He loves me." And it's like,
that's so
wow.
good.
It is so good because so in my mind, I don't even think you have the right to travel the world talking about intimacy with God. If that doesn't relate to loving your wife, there's like a
Hmm.
major disconnect there. Like
Yeah.
to me, like from what I know today, like I would if somebody was trying to talk to me and I knew that their wife felt that way, like it would totally discredit them for me, and I wouldn't
Hmm.
listen to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just don't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to take advice of you. Go and fix your marriage, and then come
Yeah.
and talk to me about intimacy with God.
Well, and God doesn't want you to forsake. That's not what he wants.
Yeah,
Like how is he going to look? How is, you know, AJ, AW, AW.
AW Tozer. Yeah.
Okay. So he's standing there facing God, and God's going to be like, what's your greatest accomplishment? I loved you. What about your kids? But I loved you. What about your
Yeah,
wife? Bro, I loved you.
yeah, yeah. He forgot
Like,
about the little
family's
passage
everything.
about like he that loves God loves his brother also, or to love your wife as Christ loved the church. And there's a major disconnect between
Mhm.
like I can't really when I think about God, I think the best way to show him that I love him is actually to love you.
Yeah. You must love God a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew somebody my whole life growing up, and she put her heart and soul into the church.
Come
Always
on.
was serving and doing everything. And she was so sweet. She really was. you would never find her without a huge position in the church. Okay.
Yeah.
And she sacrificed her family for these positions in the church and for serving other people. And I, I didn't recognize it until one day when somebody pointed it out. Come to find out, her children couldn't stand her
Oh, see.
because she
Yeah.
was constantly sacrificing them and not doing things that they needed and not being there for them for the sake of being there for the church. And once I heard that, I thought, man, I looked at her in a completely different light and I thought, that's really sad. You're their mother. You should be there for them before people in the church. They're not going to put you first. So
Yeah.
why are you
Yeah.
putting them there first
Yeah.
and
That's so
sacrificing
good.
your children?
Yeah.
And she lost a lot of her kids because of it.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Like, so people like use religion in that way. And I do think it's a little bit of an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And it is manifested by the focal point shifts and this doesn't care. So you're doing this and you're forsaking this. And how somebody can put ministry first. I've seen people get divorced because of it, and pastors
Mm-hmm.
choose the church over their wife. Um,
Wow.
and they correlate and justify it like ministry and God are like same level.
Mm-hmm.
And God doesn't actually see it that way. He sees like,
Mm-hmm.
quite differently. And I couldn't imagine as a pastor choosing my church over my wife. Like me looking in, I would say go fix your marriage and then come back.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that just seems crazy. So the leaders I follow today, like the leaders I'm listening to, they say like when they hire somebody, they go, if I find out that you're not handling your marriage and taking care of your marriage, I'll fire you on the spot. And these are Christian organizations.
That's good
And they're
though.
saying, I will check with you and your wife and ask how your relationship's doing. And if she tells me that you're forsaking her for the ministry, I'm firing you.
That is so good. But think about it though. First off, what kind of example are you being for other people if you're forsaking your marriage for the sake of this ministry position? But then
Yeah.
also, like, if you're forsaking your wife and you're not pouring into her, like, how much can you actually pour into these people who you're not even that close with?
Mm, man.
Like, your spouse is supposed to be the closest person to you. And if you can forsake your spouse for some random person, what kind
Mm,
of person are you?
yeah. Yeah. That's so good. So good. Let's go into
Mic
other
drop.
ones. It is here. I'll do that. Well, the
AirPod drop.
AirPod drop. I want to go into family because I think people will struggle with this also, whether they're newly married or struggling later on in marriage. That if they choose their family, more so their family above them, and that is their parents over their spouse. And
Oh,
what I
gotcha.
mean
Okay.
by that, like their parents' opinion matters more than their spouse, and that what their parents want for them matters more than what their spouse wants and stuff like that. I think that's a big one too, don't you?
Been there, done that. You calling me out.
No, I'm just like I wanted to make sure that
No,
we
I'm being
touch
serious
all
though.
the ways that we choose somebody else
That's
because
a
it's like, of
huge
course I
one.
chose my wife. Of course I choose my wife. Well, do you really?
Yeah. Yeah. In my previous relationship, like his opinion didn't matter to me. He wasn't my best friend. He wasn't my everything. And so it was like what my parents thought, wanted, like I put them way before him. I'll be
Hmm.
honest.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a great relationship, you know? And so it was like, of course, I'd rather go like have dinner or hang out at my parents' house instead of like, because he was an over the road truck driver. Um, So I just kind of did my thing, right? Like, so I get it. I've been on both sides of that.
Yeah.
They mattered more than him, but now you matter more than they matter.
Yeah. 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 And
So
that's not
yeah,
like
I get it.
saying like devotion and love, or there's different kind of loves from family love and spousal love. But yeah, when it comes to like other people like interjecting, you can see how all of that is going to create all kinds of mess. Meddling. Italian culture is so big for meddling. Like the mothers are the matriarch and like they're just like nagging and nitpicking. Like I remember like family gatherings where you sit at the table and everybody's just nagging and ragging on each other. It's like oh, so meddling sort of culture.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it happens with men too, right? But I think especially with women, I think that's more of a problem overall because women are usually so close to their mothers, right? And so it's like
Sure.
super common for stuff like that to happen. I get it. Been there, done that. But now it's like it's because we have a healthy, stable relationship, like it's not that way. In the past I would talk to my mom sometimes a couple times a day, every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I can go a week without talking to her,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And I I think it could have been a hard transition for her when I went from that to how it is now, but it's not that I don't have a relationship with her because I do, I talk to her frequently, but you matter more.
Yeah.
And my time and my focus and my energy is to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder what you think about the conversation of kids and how people choose kids over spouses. Like the first analogy that comes to my mind is, how kids pit parents against each other and ask the one and that sort of thing. And, I imagine that there's some people out there, or maybe I might have done this a couple times, ignorantly. But I know that when those kind of conflicts arise, because children are manipulative and they'll ask the easygoing parent, and
Hmm.
if it comes to light that your spouse does not want to do that, and you still roll with what the child wants, that would be definitely choosing the kids over spouse, and people probably do that. Can you think of any others that might come to mind as is choosing kids over spouse?
Oh, so easily. Been
Oh,
there both sides, like just being honest. Like it was like, no, they were my life. He was gone all the time and it was just me and the kids. And so it was like, it was super easy to put them first. What do you guys want to do? What do you want to have for dinner? Where are we going to go? Like it was constantly putting them first. And if by chance he was home and they asked him, which they knew not to, just come to me because I was the one that was like in charge, right?
yeah.
Um, I would overwrite him all the time. He'd say no, he'd say yes, I'd say the opposite just because I could. But with you, like I I did a
We
self-reflection
have
before.
so much truth happening on these episodes.
I know. Um,
Uh,
when we got together, I had already gone through a lot of counseling and just work on myself and all that I didn't want to repeat that in this relationship. And so we were always like really, really aware. And yeah, I'm sure a couple times it happened where they went to you after they went to me or something, but we were really good about it. And I don't know if I could even Like, I kind of think that there was one time I remember specifically, but I couldn't even tell you the details of it.
Yeah, that's why
And
when I was talking about it, I was like, yeah, I think I've probably done this before. And that's why I just wanted to own it before I brought it up.
yeah, but it was unintentional. That was the kids' fault, not a me and you fault. We did not purposely go against what the other had wanted. They
Uh,
had played us, but we were always like, our communication has always been top notch. And so we have not really ever let that get between us. And we just, we made sure that like the kids knew, like, I'm not going to go against what he said. I'm not going to go against what she said. Like they knew that's not happening. And they tried,
yeah,
but they knew it wasn't going to
yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah. That's so good. I wonder, and this is a theory, and it's based upon, we read that five love languages together a long time ago.
Hmm.
And so here's my theory based upon his like emotional bank account that if we constantly choose somebody other than our spouse, all of these different areas, it's like throwing like money into that account. Like it's going to
Hmm.
cash one of these days. Like, so if we're like constantly choosing something else when it's time to roost or it's time to harvest, the only thing that we could say is this is accumulation of all the times I didn't choose. Now, that's not to say like
So
we've talked about
you're in debt
repeatedly.
then?
Yeah, major debt. Right? Like, so how many times can like these different areas like you choose something else. So instead of
Mhm.
choosing your spouse for that vacation or that thing, you chose something else. Like how many times can you repeatedly put the kids for or do all of these different things and not deplete the whole relationship in, you know, and have nothing left at
Yeah.
some point or another.
Well,
You're
and
going to have nothing left, right?
yeah, I've heard of like men who like they work so hard and they want to give their families everything. And it's like, okay, it's vacation. Y'all are going to go and do this. And then the man stays home and works.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
often can you do that before it's like, well, I guess I don't matter?
Yeah. Well, we've been trained, I think, societally as men to sacrifice, and there is a pro to con in this. So every good thing, there's a shadow, there's a dark side to it. So the dark side of sacrifice is, you go out there and you die for your country. You go out there and some of the most dangerous jobs, they're all occupied by men. 90% are
Hmm.
men, rightfully so. We wouldn't want to put our women in danger. So there is a societal thing of like men sacrifice. And so what we do in the conversation you're having is
Uh-huh.
when it comes to work, we consider it that only a sacrifice that we're making as men. So I'm going to sacrifice or not choose my wife, but I'm going to justify it because I'm choosing work and that's,
Hmm.
for my wife and for my kids. So we'll rationalize, we'll justify it, but we're actually not choosing our spouse. We're actually sacrificing them.
Hmm.
You know, we think we're sacrificing us and our time and our energy, but we're actually sacrificing our kids and our marriage, in fact, by not
Yeah.
choosing them first. There's And this is socially acceptable. You're for this American dream, the almighty dollar, you're meant to you're told to go all in, get obsessed about this. If you want to ever achieve it, you got to obsess about it. You got to grind. You got to do this, that, and the other thing. And what that correlates to is you don't choose your wife. You choose your job.
Yeah.
What's crazy is the Japanese culture, that's what they do. The men are just paychecks. Like, listen to this. This is probably related to the truck driving
Wow.
culture too. Is
Hmm.
so the men work all day, and then they go out and they have dinner with the guys, and then after the guys, they go out for sake, and they get into 1 o'clock in the morning, and they do it all over again. And the all they
Wow.
do, the only thing is they do is to bring home the check to the wife who manages the household. And this is a societal cultural thing, and it's just ingrained into them. And they're choosing this over their spouse and their kids. The kids don't even know dad. Kids are not even raised by dad. This is why they seek the validation of men when they're older, and they surround themselves by men and all this stuff because they're searching for all of that validation that they never got from dad at home. Like, it's crazy.
That's so sad.
Right.
That really is.
Yeah. Let's um let's go into the thought you had about daily. What does so we kind of did the whole thing of like work, all of these things we can choose over, but what does it look like daily to choose? Like, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, it really, I mean, everyone's different. And so it can look completely different to you or to somebody else. But, when we first got together, I was very, very rough around the edges. Um,
Nah, nah.
yeah. Um, Physical touch, no, I'm good. I don't need it. Like, that was
Was
not a
your
love language,
were you like
which is,
like the Grinch? Was your heart 10 sizes too small?
it's only supposed to be two sizes. You wanted 10 sizes? Wow.
Uh, two sizes
Um,
too small.
yeah, it's funny because physical touch was like, not, don't touch me. I no, right? And now, like, that's my number one love language is touch. So it's kind of crazy how that changed for me. But because I knew that about myself, I didn't want to be that way. And so I wanted to change that. And so when you were around, I had to be very, very conscious and aware with how I was. And so I would intentionally, it did not come normal or natural. It was like I intentionally, if I walked past you, I would touch you. Or if I walked behind you, I'd put my hand on your back. And I just was very, very intentional about touching you.
Uh-huh.
And over time, it became natural. And now, like, I'm sure every time I walk past you, I somehow touch you, right? And I say all that to, just to kind of make a point of like, you may have to be very, very intentional with these choices in the beginning, but it could be something simple like touching, like, okay, you walked past me, I'm going to touch your arm. Or, um, you go to bed and you give each other a kiss. You wake up and you kiss. Or, um, well, I'd rather go read a book, but you know what? It's prime time for a conversation, right?
Uh-huh.
We're both free. Or, I don't know, there's like 1,000 different things that you could do throughout the day to choose each other over something else,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
It's
And
so
so
good.
you just got to see like, what is it in your relationship? Is it having a conversation? Is it the physical touch that I was talking about? Is it, sacrifice reading a book to go for a walk together?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
there are so many different things that you can do. Is it having a phone call with your mother or a conversation with your spouse or helping them with something that they need help with? So
Yeah.
I don't know if that
Yeah.
really answers your question or
It
not,
does.
but
It does. There's so many, so many. I love our walk and talks. That'd be
mhm.
definitely a way to choose each other in practically, you know.
Yeah. Well, and like with that, because we've been going on a lot of walks lately, anywhere from 2 to 3.25 miles, depending on which path we take. And it's actually become my favorite part of the day when we do that because we talk. And we've gotten into some of like the deepest conversations by going on these walks. And
Uh-huh.
like is my favorite part of the day. And it's like connecting with you. And yeah, it's
Yeah, it's so good.
just an amazing part of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so good. As you were talking, I was thinking of one area in I catch myself when I do it now, and that is time and attention is pretty high on your thing too. And as far
Hmm.
as like communication of love. And so when I'm like distracted or I'm busy or I'm on my phone or you start a sentence and then I jump on my phone and then I tune out the rest of what you're saying. Like literally, so I catch myself doing it now, but like I literally like see a disconnect happen now
Hmm.
to where there is like communication and there's stuff flowing, then I get distracted and focus on something else, and then it just goes whoop. And so now, like
Yep.
my imagination, thank you. Now my imagination sees it like a scissor. Like we just established like this, and then I came like this, and I went snip, snip. And so now that I have that analogy, like when I catch myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm breaking connection when I do that.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
this conversation is important because not only are like men in general choosing their phone over their wives, but everything that's on that phone when it comes to pornography and all of these different things, like there's just so many ways in which we are choosing whatever it is that is on our phone and not choosing our spouse, and we're just severing that connection. And you feel it, I recognize
Hmm.
it now, sort of thing. And so um choosing your spouse is very practical. It's in
Hmm.
those very very moments um
Yeah. Well, and I
like
think
those.
too, like with us, so we live a very different lifestyle than most couples because we're entrepreneurs. We work from home, we work together, like we're always there. And so, like, for one thing that I have to really pay attention to is like, whatever I was going to say, is it the appropriate time? Like, are you in the middle of a business call? Are you in the middle of like um an important task or a project or something? And is this really the appropriate time for that? And
Yeah,
so being aware and being considerate of that, because if you're in the middle of something business related, um and I am trying to interject myself and be like, hey, look at me, I need to talk to you, like unless it's something important, like wrong time, wrong place.
yeah.
And that's not considerate of me. And so for me, it's like I have to remind myself, like, because we don't have 9 to 5s, but it's like if it's before 5 p.m., do I need to wait type
Hmm,
thing?
that's cool, that's cool. I like
Um,
that.
yeah. Does that always happen? No. But I try and like remind myself, like, because you work a lot more than I do. And so it's like just being considerate that, like, yes, like I matter too, but we still have business.
Yeah,
And just being aware that, like, yes, I do. Time and attention is big for me. And so, like, that is important, but right time, right place, I guess is what I'm
yeah,
trying to say.
that's so good, that's so good. I think one of the big things for me, and it's like ingrained into my personality, and um I can probably dissect and see where I got it pretty honestly, but very, very fast. So I make decisions pretty quick, and I probably don't think through them all the way, or I get a bright idea, or I'm executing something, and I think in completion mode because like my brain is wired to complete a thing. It's not wired to complete the thing with perfection or precision. You probably know,
Oh, how
right?
many? I'm sitting here laughing. How many arguments have we gotten into because of that?
Yeah, yeah. So I bring that up to like my
Yeah.
most goal oriented people. Their thing is the accomplishment of whatever the objective is in. So I find like God in general, like my faith, like he moves way slower than I do. And like even he's telling me like in so many different ways, like, hey bro, like calm down. Let's move at the and so even like God seems like so slow for me. And you expect like God is like all this stuff, but he has to like form us and create us and make us what we ought to be. And that takes time and um
Mhm.
and like I'm like, come on, Lord, like let's go, and he's like, no, like so I can like leave without him, and I can certainly leave without you. Like, and so like the thing is so am I choosing, and this conversation would be, am I choosing to go by myself and like say, all right, God, see you later. I'm here I go. There he goes,
Mm.
bum,
Yeah.
hit his face against the wall repeatedly and or with you in that sense of, um, you're much like God to me in that, um,
Ooh, God
no,
status there.
no, well, God speaks through you all the time. And, if I want to hear what, God has to say to me, like your balanced approach is the cure to my dark side, is feedback from you, is cure to my dark side. So for me to move ahead in my faith or to move ahead of you would come at my own detriment, and would be putting some sort of objective, um, ahead of. And it's like, I don't know how many times like people like me do this thing and they go life alone. They're running ahead of God, they're running ahead of their spouse, and they're wondering why, like, they're going alone. It's like,
Mhm.
you decided to go it alone, because you can go ahead and run with all that little wild hair ideas, all the things you want, but you're gonna have to go it alone because there ain't nobody going to follow you.
Okay, so now let me ask you this though. Are you really going ahead of God?
No, but he's like, from experience, he is slow.
No,
In the
I
sense
agree.
of like
But
like
are
he'll
you
give you an
really
idea, like, hey, I've called you into ministry. Here it is 8 years later, and it's like, his timetable is quite different,
Mhm.
than somebody
But
who's like gun ho, but right
you're
on time.
going
Yeah.
ahead of him. He's the one that's right on time.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
way back
Yeah.
here and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, come on, God, let's do this already. He's like, bro, like it's not your time yet.
Hmm. My time
He's
has
like
not
pulling
yet
the reins
come.
on you.
Whoa there, buddy.
I'm kind of
Whoa.
I just got the visualization of like you riding a horse.
Uh-huh.
Or no, sorry, you're a horse and God is like riding you and you're like a
Yeah.
wild horse going all over the place and bucking and he's like pulling the reins like,
Yeah.
"Bro, come on, calm down.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It
got
has to
this.
break you in,
Slow
man.
down."
This whole formation process is getting broken in.
Yeah.
So I brought that up because I know that a lot of men who are goal oriented think that it requires to choose the goal over going with people or over
Mhm.
going with their spouse. And same thing with being right. Like you can be right or you can be in a relationship, and sometimes you can't do both. You can't always assert that you are right and kind of to people and think that you're going to maintain relationship. It's not going to happen,
Unless you have someone is like,
Hey, you are right a lot though. Like, so I give
how
you,
often
I give,
I'm
I
okay,
give
but
you the credit.
yes. Now let me ask you, how often am I wrong? And there's a point to this question. How often am I wrong?
Yeah, not very much.
It's rare that I'm wrong. So
Because you
those
won't shoot
times,
from the hip. I shoot from the hip all the time, and I'll talk about stuff that I don't even know for sure. And a couple times you've called me out on it, like throughout the 12 years. You're like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
You're probably going to
But
Chat
one thing
GPT to check that out.
I do sometimes. But my thing that I have to learn that is even though I am right 99% of the time, and yes, that sounds very, very like something of me. I don't know. But yes, even though I am right the majority of the time, do I need to point it out to you? Bro, I'm right. You are wrong.
Mhm.
Or is it really a big deal if he thinks that, even though I know he's wrong? Do I need
Yes.
to point that out? And
Yes.
that is something that I'm learning. Like, is it really that important? Because frankly, it's not.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Awesome. Well, that was a great thing. I'd like to close with this question for the people listening. And that's if you looked honestly at your calendar, your spending, your job, your church, like all of these different things, and all of your priorities from the last 30 days, would the evidence show that you are choosing your spouse or would it show that you're choosing something else? That's it.
That's good. But I do have a question for you.
Yes.
Why did you have to put it like that?
Like what?
Go back and read the first part of your question.
If a couple looked honestly at their calendar.
And they're spending.
Spending.
Why did you put calendar and spending together?
My wife bought a $600 calendar. So this is a good conversation because this could be major things for couples. And so I seen a couple one time where the wife had a secret credit card and the husband found out. And I
That's
tell you, you
terrible.
talk about stuff hitting the fan like that hit the fan. I don't know how much
Yeah.
she charged, but she was made sure that she checked the mail before him like all the time to make sure she got that thing. Because if he seen it, she knew that he would explode. Now, there's some caveats to that. If you got a penny pitcher and they won't allow you to spend any money, you got to be secretive. There's a lot of things to that, but anyways, the conversation of the calendar and money is like, she's like, hey, I'll just get this amazing calendar and we'll hang it on the wall. And I'm like, oh, that sounds neat, honey. We should do that.
You even saw it. You saw what it could do. You
Yeah. Saw everything but the price tag. When I found out it was $600, I about crap my pants.
yeah. I was never going to tell you how much it was, though. That was Cody and Ivy's fault that you found out.
That was good. So this shows me like your skills, like so you can get your husband on board and you can get him agreeing with you that we should get a thing. As long
Mhm.
as we don't talk about the price, this, that, and the other thing. So you like did this whole thing, got me all on board, shipped it, got me to hang it, all of these different things. And I never even computed that it was a
I won't be able to
$600.
pull that off again, though, will I?
Probably not.
You'll be like, that's amazing. How much?
How much? Oh, that's good. All right.
Yes.
We'll see you on the next episode, guys. Peace.